had I known, that this was an option, or even within my wheelhouse ages ago, what the automation allows us to do, it's a force multiplier. One machine is a force. Now, two machines is a force multiplier, but 3 machines, one of them having a pallet pool, is an exponential force multiplier. That's a machine that doesn't require a full shift of an individual and unattended nights and weekend machining. And it's all about the spindle uptime.
Hello my friends, and welcome back to another episode of MTD CNC North America. Today I am with my buddy Kyle of KCS Advanced Machining Services. Now, Kyle is one of the younger generation of machinists that has that really forward-thinking mindset that wants to create the ability to move into the future with great success, and in doing so has invested in Matsuura and this MAM machine with pallets all over the place that allow him to do low batches, but also when big jobs come, allow him to jump into large batch runs as well. It's really a pleasure for me to be here and to speak with you and share your story with the global audience.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Tony.
So let's talk a little bit about, let's start at the beginning of what helped you decide to invest in this Matsuura MAM machine.
Well, talking about the MAM, KCS is a long history of being a high mix, low volume job shop. Built to spec 5-axis manufacturer, 5-axis job shop. And we identified some new opportunities in high volume production. And faced with the everyday challenges of labor and skills gaps and cost of ownerships, we decided that the MAM35 vertical machining center here is the most efficient and most sensible point of entry into a high volume market, as well as very well suited for our everyday niche of high mix, low volume 5-axis machining, designed to run 24/7 for 20 years. The efficiencies can't be beaten.
And let's talk a little bit about precision. I know this isn't your first Matsuura machine, so precision based on the components you make, and let's talk a little bit about what you make as well.
It's not just about part accuracy, but it's also about the rotation, the point of rotation accuracy. We have a lot of data here that the Matsuuras are able to hold that point of rotation, less than 5 microns throughout the day, time and time again. And what that correlates to is part repeatability. That's that first piece and the last piece coming off the machine the same, or with all the capacity of this pallet pool here, the ability to pull a job in that hasn't been ran in months potentially and get the same part off the machine the first time as it was the last time.
And what kind of parts do you run that require this type of high precision?
Yeah, our primary markets are human spaceflight hardware, industrial robotics, firearms, as well as automotive prototype and aftermarket, as well as many others.
Let's talk for a second about human spaceware. What does that even mean? What are you making?
We're doing spacesuits. NASA has not built a surface suit since the days of Neil Armstrong. And with the pending moon mission, they're working on a new surface suit, a new multi-role surface suit, which is modular for the size of astronauts and the roles of the mission. I keep preaching to the guys here that our goal is to get parts on the moon. We're going to engrave our logo in a boot so that we have our name on the moon, and then maybe someday Mars.
That's fantastic. I look forward to seeing that on the moon to start with, and then Mars later. So something I want to talk about and kind of reiterate, and we're jumping back to this machine. How many tools does it hold, and what kind of confidence does that give you on a weekend shift when you don't have to be here?
Yeah, absolutely. 320 tools in the carousel. Right now, we were set up with half of the magazine full for day-to-day jobs, plus a fair bit dedicated to redundant tooling.
36 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
You've been doing this for 11 years. This is your newest purchase, so it's very obvious to me that you're a forward-thinking, creative, but also younger generation getting into machines. What inspired you to go with Matsuura?
Yeah, we decided to go with the Matsuura, basically due to the factory-built automation. This machine model in particular, they've been building since '91. We decided that we wanted to go the route of a manufacturer who's perfected the technology, who arguably invented the technology or possibly modernized the technology, in the early '90s. Whereas some of the other manufacturers are bolt-on hardware or third-party hardware with multiple user interfaces and essentially different machine tools. Whereas this machine here is one machine tool, which includes the pallet changer, the tool magazine, and the machine itself. It's a purpose-built ecosystem, and with the pallet pool being integrated into the machine controller, there's only one controller that you have to deal with lots, and that provides lots of flexibility, throughout the day. I like to call it one-button automation. We decided to go with Matsuura, due to their one-button automation. We might be, prototyping a single piece and get hung up on the job, and we're forced with either letting the machine sit while we, solve the problems, or we can move on to a second job in the machine that's already set up and ready to go, therefore taking advantage of the daytime hours.
I know it's a redundant statement at this point, but I'm going to say it anyway, guys. You've heard me say it as well. The name of the game now really is spindle uptime and the ability to keep that spindle turning. And through your 11 years of experience and growth, a lot of that, there was some difficulty in that setup time, which also led you to invest in that Matsuura, right? Because even though you could produce high quality parts, that setup time, really took away from that spindle uptime that we're all trying to reach to produce quality parts, to make more money, to get more parts out the door, shorten the lead times, whatever it might be for the people we're working with. Matsuura supports that.
Yeah, I always say that with the less expensive machines, you never stop paying for the machine. They have a lower price tag, but I feel like the cost of ownership is higher, due to maybe possibly maintenance or more or less usually longer setups or typically having to cater to the machine throughout the process. Whereas we decided to go with the Matsuuras due to we were always busy. We're always the spindles were often turning on all the other equipment, but we decided that the accuracy of the machines and the reliability and robustness of the machines would allow us to reduce our setup times.
That is absolutely true. Kyle, I really, really appreciate you conveying this message to our audience. I wish KCS all the success moving forward. I want you guys to continue to grow. I look forward to coming back with MTD and doing an interview in a year and 5 years and 10 years and being a part of the growth with you. So thank you so much for having us in, and thank you for conveying this powerful message. You are an amazing person.
Thank you very much, Tony.